Welcome back to the Data Protection Diaries, welcome back to the vlog. In today's video we're going to be talking about consultants. So people who are currently in-house, maybe you are in-house and you want to come out into the wider world and be a consultant, be that working for yourself, so being self-employed, operating as a DPO, or taking the plunge and going to work for a different organisation, so working specifically for a consultancy business. What's that going to mean for you? What kind of challenges are you going to face? And how can you prepare yourself for that transitional period? As always, if you're new to the channel, please do make sure that you hit subscribe, which is down the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And of course, if you're not new to the channel, make sure that you do comment down below, let us know what you think of this video. Are you currently in-house? Are you working as a consultant? Have you ever made that transition? What kind of challenges did you face? And what kind of tips have you got for people to share as well? So that's enough of the waffle. Let's get on with today's video. It's not something that we talk about a great deal on this channel, certainly in terms of my personal journey, where I came from and where iStorm as a business came from. But I've been in and around data protection and information governance for around about 12, 13 years. My career started in healthcare. Latterly, I worked in pharmaceuticals and then ended my kind of in-house career in financial services. So I've always had a good, broad understanding of how information governance and data protection can affect a wide range of different sectors and a wide range of different industries. One of the things that I realised towards the end of my kind of in-house career was that I'd actually really done all I could do, all I felt I could do in terms of professional development and kind of upskilling and doing the things that I really wanted to do. And I kind of had two choices. Either stay doing the role that I was doing, being a group DPO for a large financial services company, but never really have that kind of progression and not really know where to go next. Either learn a new skill, so change roles completely, kind of start again, or go out on my own and go and work as a consultant or go and work as an independent self-employed DPO. At the time, my best friend from school was also looking to make kind of the same transition from an in-house sales role to running a company and to being his own boss. So of course we decided that it would be a good idea to come together, and that's where obviously our consultancy and our business came from. Now, a lot of people that I know, and certainly a lot of people in the data protection and kind of privacy industry and network, have kind of muted with the idea of going from in-house to a consultancy or going from in-house to a self-employed role, because of course there are a number of benefits in working for yourself. You get to be your own boss, you get to choose who you work for, but there are a number of challenges associated with that as well. So what we're going to be doing now is actually looking at what those challenges are and how you can prepare for that transition. The first thing that you need to do if you're looking at moving from a kind of in-house role into any kind of self-employed or consultancy role is make sure that before you make that transition, so in your preparation for that kind of move, that you are networking as much as you possibly can. Now, networking is important because what you need to be doing is meeting people that you could potentially be working for in the future now, so that you already have an understanding of what the market looks like, you already have an understanding of what people's needs and wants are going to be, and you can make sure that when you are setting yourself up, if you're looking for a particular niche, let's say particularly your experiences in schools or your particular experiences in healthcare, can you find a niche within there? Are you networking with the kinds of people that you're going to be working with? And what kind of benefits can you bring to their organization? So getting out, meeting people, attending events, networking sessions are all very, very important things to do. Today we're actually off down to the Cloud and Cybersecurity Expo at the XL in London. Now we've got a stand, it costs £5,000–6,000 for us to go there, but as a business it means that we can meet and network with a lot of people. But one of the things that we did in the early days was actually just attend the event as an attendee and use that opportunity to go around, meet different vendors, meet different providers, talk about their products, understand what kind of challenges they were facing, and make contacts, get to know people, so that when I got to the point where I actually wanted to go and work for myself, we got to the point where we could take on more business, we already had a network of contacts. And that's why networking is so important to start before you even consider leaving your current in-house role. The next thing that you need to be looking at is your online profile. Now, of course, from a corporate perspective, LinkedIn is always going to be probably the best place that you can start to build that profile. Again, it's as important as networking in person. It's getting to know the right people, finding the right connections on LinkedIn. Make sure that you're commenting on people's posts. So if somebody's made an interesting point, add to that. Add to the conversation, demonstrate your value, demonstrate your knowledge. Once you're comfortable, obviously writing your own posts, writing your own opinion pieces is also very, very important when you're on LinkedIn, because it demonstrates again to your wider network what your knowledge is, what your kind of knowledge base is, and where your subject matter expertise lies. Add to that by, of course, writing blogs. You can film videos, so if you want to have a YouTube channel like this, that can also be a very, very valuable tool. The challenge that some people have with LinkedIn is that you can get imposter syndrome. Click here to watch a video on what that can mean. Now, what's important is that you don't be put off by some people's reactions and viewpoints on LinkedIn. You concentrate on building a network of like-minded people, people that want to engage with you, and people that you want to engage with. And again, it's important to do this before you actually make the move to being self-employed, because these are the people that are going to be able to support you when you are running your own business, when you are self-employed. This is potentially where your work is going to be coming from. Collaborate. Now, this very much again ties in with the networking and ties in with your LinkedIn activities. The data protection industry, and certainly the privacy industry, is a very, very collaborative industry. Everybody is willing to help everybody else. Everybody is willing to share ideas, share knowledge, share advice. The best thing that you can do is try and find a network of people, try and find a group of potentially people that have already made the move from in-house to a consultancy role. Talk to them, find out what kind of challenges they faced, ask for their advice, ask for their support. In some cases, if you build a good network, you will actually find that you can start to support some of those people as they get busier and they take on more work. Not everybody wants to run a big business, not everybody wants to have a team of consultants like we do. A lot of the independent consultants are still one-man bands who use associates to help them deliver pieces of work. So if they get busy, then they've got people that they might use to help them write policies, help them write procedures, carry out DPIAs, undertake ropers, and those kind of things. So learning about your colleagues, learning about your peers, and asking for opportunities to collaborate can be a very, very good way of kind of building your initial customer base and building your initial kind of consultancy experience before you make the move from a full-time in-house role to a full-time consultancy role. Personally, I also found it very, very useful to go back to old colleagues, so people that I had worked with over the years, people that I had good relationships with, and just let them know that I'm making a move, I'm going to be moving from in-house, I'm making a decision to go into consultancy, wondering where they were, wondering who they were currently working for, was there any potential opportunities that they may need support. The biggest mistake I made when I went and we started this business was assuming that just by posting a couple of things on LinkedIn, everybody knew what we did and everybody knew that I was now out as a consultant and working as a consultant. Like, trust me, they don't. People do not interact with LinkedIn as much as you might think they do. So actually finding these people, sending them a message, reconnecting, meeting people for a coffee, Going back to organisations that you used to work with is a fantastic way of building your client base when you're looking to be an independent consultant. Over 80% of the work that we do here at iStorm in the data protection team comes from referrals. So that's people that we have worked with before, that's old employers that have moved around to different organisations, companies that we have supported before, and the people that our contacts from there have gone to different places. It comes from our peers, it comes from other people that we've worked with referring their clients to us for a range of different services. I cannot stress how important it is to go back out to your network, go back out to people that you have worked with before and let them know what you're going to be doing, because you would be surprised how many people would have enjoyed working with you, would have enjoyed your approach and your experiences, and will be keen to work with you again in the future. The last thing and the final thing for me, and this took me a long while to really appreciate, is that you have to be patient. You have to take your time, and you have to be prepared financially, because you are not necessarily going to get all of the work that you might expect straight away. Building a network takes time. Building an understanding within that network and getting your name out there and getting people to understand and know who you are and the services that you can deliver takes even longer. You are going to have to work through the previous steps. You're going to have to look at networking. You're going to have to look at collaboration. You're going to have to look at how you express your knowledge, your subject matter expertise, and how you keep that at the forefront of people's minds. Because just because you've told somebody that you're going to be working independently, you're going to be working as a consultant, it doesn't mean that they're going to need your services today. But that's not to say that they're not going to need your services in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, 18 months' time. We get work from relationships that we fostered 2 or 3 years ago, from people that we've met, from connections that we've made, from sharing information from a long period of time over our social media channels and through personal branding. And it sometimes happens that actually the people that we were talking to just didn't need the services that we were offering when they were in a previous role. But maybe they've moved to a new organisation, maybe there's been a structural change, and now they are needing support. So not everything is going to come immediately. And this is why it's important, as I said before, to look at collaboration. So look at collecting work or supporting other consultants with their work, because you may find that actually making the move to part-time, so moving from your in-house role and making that a part-time role and delivering some part-time consultancy services may be a very good place to start, and that can give you the opportunity to kind of build your client base, work out what kind of services you want to offer and who you're going to be offering those services to while you carry on and do your networking. It's also important to make sure, where possible, that you've got some cash in the bank. So what you want is not a huge amount of money. I'm not talking about having a year's salary in the bank, but if you can, make sure that you've got a couple of months' salary saved away so that you can cover yourself if you need to, just in case that work doesn't come in as quickly as you think it is going to do. If you've done the legwork, and if you've done the networking, you've done the collaboration, and you've kind of built your personal brand in the background before you make the move, you should find that you've already got a couple of gigs lined up before you hand in your notice or before you leave your full-time role. Now, some people will leave a full-time role, go straight out being independent, and then look for work from there. Personally, I liked to know that when I left my role, I already had a couple of things lined up for me to get into. How you do that is going to be down to you, down to your kind of risk appetite, but having that cash buffer is going to give you the comfort that you need to think, actually, I've got a bit of time. If things aren't going as well as expected, you're not going to be in a panic. As always, this is a fairly succinct view on the world. It's certainly the way that I approach things, and it didn't do me any harm, but it's not necessarily the way that all consultants have approached their move from in-house to out-house. If you have got any comments or you've got any experiences of making this kind of change, please do make sure that you put those down below and get involved in the conversation. Of course, if you have any questions, please do get in touch as well, and you'll catch our website, email address, etc. at the end of this video. Of course, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Please then make sure that you do like, subscribe to this video, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks very much.